Could have a truly explosive start, couldn't we?
That's actually the definition of explosive in RPK and Apex both there. They toss it out. Frozen had backed away. They didn't even go far enough to touch him. I think one landed behind the car, but no damage taken whatsoever. Good idea. And Vitality's going to have to go to the next stage of this strategy. 3 players heading towards the A halls. And it looks like, I mean, this seems like it's going to be a fake to some degree. RPK and Apex with a smoke and a flashbang each. RPK's already used his. But this is a big risk, using your utility away from the main force of the attack.
Yeah, who actually does this? Who throws a fake in a pistol round involving 2 smokes? That's the last flashbang that they have. Now they're going to be going in the middle to a 3-ray crossfire. I feel like they've absolutely walked right into this mousesports trap, and now they have to fight their way out, and Saibu is doing just that. A big double kill, and Alex with a headshot. That worked so much better than you would have thought.
Zawu even fixing his hair as he plants the bomb. He had no cares, no worries whatsoever. 2-on-4 attempted retake, and Woxic does have the kit in front of him. He's picked it up. He has his smoke as well. The question is, can you even get into the bomb site? Is it worth going for this at this point? Do you want to save that for the next round? At the moment, still probing. Great shot from Woxic, and so it begins.
Actually, he does an amazing job of getting those kills even, but it doesn't change the fact that Saibu will end him and, with a triple kill, win the round here for Vitality after a great start. If you just took a screenshot of the setup there towards the middle, a second before they actually turned the corner and went for the attack, and you had to ask, you know, let's just say all of our analysts, you know, who's winning this fight right now? They've just thrown all the utility out, they've got nothing left, and they're walking into 4 people towards the A-bomb, so at least 3 towards the middle there. How's that going to play out? You wouldn't give them a lot of hope, would you?
No, but I think the trouble with that setup is obviously once you get out, like once you're on the ground, like those USPs have to connect pretty much immediately. There were 3 players that are about to swing wide on that, and obviously some of the defenders have to keep their attention towards middle. So yeah, you have 3 players there, but the numbers aren't necessarily, they don't actually equal all 3 players turning around to take those fights, because you're kept honest by the players in Boiler, kept honest by the players in mid-ramp.
This is dangerous, Woxic. This is very dangerous. Looking for that headshot. The grenade is pretty good, and the follow-up, actually, tag will drop RPK kind of low. Now, he couldn't really get back around the corner. The CC for Chris, he's unbelievably committed to that fight.
Well, banana control to the Vitality side, and yeah, 2-man advantage now. They get to do whatever they want with this whole map.
Kerrigan has an HE left. If he could just win the lottery here and land it on 3 or 4 of these players, that would be...
Well, he's going to have a chance. They're coming right at this direction, and actually, mousesports have called for the perfect stack. This nade, you're exactly right. If he can put it into play, he's inside the bomb site. If they make noise, the trouble is they're coming on Rap side, so he's going to be the first player that they make contact with. Rob's dropping in towards pit. Actually, excuse me, Rob's going to have the information. If he gets spotted early enough, there's the nade, but no one... Oh, it lands on Zaiwu. Not enough damage to clean him out.
Oh,
they're going to be forced away. They're going to back off of this, and there's no one at B. So mousesports, they're just going to take the risk, and it's going to pay off.
That is a very, very smart call from Vitality. And I have to imagine that's not such an easy call to make when you've already got 2 people on the Raps, like on the art side. They're so far in towards the bomb side, you're going to be so tempted to say, yeah, but you know what? Even if they're all there, it's a 3-on-5. Why not just go for it? You know, we've already got them sandwiched in. Nice call out of the Vitality team. Have you noticed Apex is shooting all of these flower pots in every map?
Not a big fan of the flowers?
Yeah, I feel like that's just an extra level of vandalism that's not even necessary, you know? Someone's going to have to pay for that later on.
Come out of the taxes.
I'm sure it will.
As they always do. 2-0, yeah?
Maybe out of the winnings if
okay, so there's like a fine that DreamHack is in.
Look at him.
Yeah. He seems angry while he's doing it as well.
Yeah, maybe as a kid he cut himself on one of them and now he's just taking it out, trying to get revenge.
Stung by a bee in the garden.
See what I'm saying? I've never seen anyone this committed to it.
We'll ask him about that after the game, and we'll figure out why.
Let's get a psychologist. Let's call Maniac on the phone and ask if we can get some insight into this.
Yeah, he would know. That's what his PhD's for.
I think it was about destroying flower pots.
2-0 for this Vitality offense. Starting out well. A couple players with armor still on the mousesports side, so they have some things they can fight with. Deagle on Frozen, CZ on Kerrigan, and Rops. HU grenade on Rops as well. That's used to no real effect.
only Robs has head armor, so those Mac 10s that are in play there on the Vitality side, even when you have armor, that's gonna be difficult to deal with. Again, a bit of a stack in top middle here. Smoke goes down over at the B bomb site. Frozen. Not hearing anyone running in just yet, so no reason to make any crazy calls. But this should be a fairly easy round for the T side, shouldn't it?
You'd like to think so, but we've seen these kind of turn on their head. We had one of those rounds on Mirage that mousesports was actually able to pull away with those deagles. There is a small chance that it happens here. Although again, I mean, much like the pistol round, it's just frozen at this B bomb site. So if Vitality ends on this side of the map, then it's gonna be a massive issue. Oh, what a shot. He comes back for it. He just spotted the elbow. And now the question becomes, does Vitality actually want to force the issue here?
Yes, they do. They're not lining up inside of the smoke. A little bit of damage onto Apex, but turns out that was a good decision for Vitality to do it. And Shox is going to be holding Banana and taking out Carrigan, so even if that's a good start to the round for mousesports, it's hard to see how they can make it back in now. I mean, retaking with just pistols and no kit or anything, but maybe they can lock them in and do some damage and steal a rifle. There's still some options here for the round.
That might be the best case scenario, just take as many guns away on the exit. It's still going to be a difficult thing to accomplish. You'd obviously love to find that Krieg on Zywoo. Walks are going to peek in with the deagle. One more headshot would be phenomenal. Doesn't see anyone just yet. Now here's the footsteps, and he goes down immediately. One shot was the only chance he had. Zywoo's got them pinned down. He's dinked, and now he's got to get away from the bomb blast. But Vitality's going to be just fine. And I think Shox is maybe a little bit crazy. He's really pressing the issue with the timing there.
Yeah, it was getting close towards the end. I think Frozen was hoping they were going to exit that way from both of them being stacked in the corner. Not quite going to happen. So a 3-0 lead for Vitality. That's pretty good. Now, what are they going to do in this upcoming round where they have all of the rifles? Normally in this round, you're going to be lacking some grenades though. So Banana control can be a bit more tricky. I'm curious to see how mousesports are going to be playing it. Not all teams anyway really want to fight for Banana when they're on the CT side, right?
There are a lot of teams that like to start out the round just being passive, especially if they don't, like you said, have the nades. It's a big commitment of utility to just trade back and forth between the squads. And we'll see what they're investing into. Kerrigan's got a decent amount with his M4, and actually there's an okay amount of cash on the mousesports side, especially considering Frozen and Rops, they already have armor. They just need to buy the weapons and the utility. They can even have an AWP out.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. I do like seeing AWPing on Inferno because, I don't know, when you get it right, there's something really high-paced about it.
Something special about it, because there can be so much variety as well, and we're going to obviously get a tech issue.
I believe the coach is saying, I'm not having any audio in my headset, so you could see why that would be relevant for a coach.
Yeah, and frustrating as well on a big pressure match. So admin's going to get on that one.
Yeah, sorting it out right away, I'm sure. Usually in the first round like this, mousesports, the first rifle round, you also expect that they're probably going to be playing more of a default and not trying for something, you know, any kind of like an uppercut.
I don't know. I've learned that you do not underestimate Kerrigan's calling in these games. He's one of those in-game leaders that's not afraid to go for the risky play. Issue's been solved. Shout out to the DreamHack admins and the support staff. That was very quickly handled.
Maybe he muted himself and...
Yeah, oh, there goes a chicken as well. Apex just destroying everything in his path.
It's a little tornado, isn't he? Just one Molotov used to top Banana, and he's not even seeing any kind of a fight out of this. Vitality already setting up with the grenades. I was wondering how quickly did they really want to do this? Alex is ready to smoke Apex, and I think they're going to be smoking over toward Arch and Library, and then maybe just explode out the apartments at the meantime. That could be really interesting. 3 men now getting up there. And there's a double stack towards Pit. This is a very, very powerful defense coming out from mousesports. The flashbang, though, is amazing to begin with. Rob still cleaning it up. 2 in return. Alex and Sai will hit the ground. And Rob wants to continue, but not going to be allowed. Apex will drop him in return. And now it's a 3-on-3. Apex still even low on health with the Galil. Will find a second kill on Chris, and that just leaves Woxic inside of the bomb site. And they have so much time, although they are sandwiched in. Frozen is holding this flank, and now they know where both players are. Apex goes down, and now it's on Shox to try and clutch it. He did it on Mirage, but can he do it once again here early on in the first half? He's going to be spraying through. That's some pretty good damage. The Molotov will follow it up, and Woxic now feeling very unsafe, and he's going to burn alive. I think he was waiting for the peak, but it never came. And Shox, surely he's got the call. Surely someone would have said exactly where Frozen was. 25 seconds. He's got the bomb. He's going to have to cross that line, and Frozen is holding it. Maybe he has the lead. He sees the peak, but he gets shot right in the face. And now he's pretty much got one chance here. 15 seconds. Now he's back around the corner, and actually he's going to go for the plan. Now, does he fake it or not? He's holding it down so far, and Frozen is almost on top of him. Shox, he's got one single chance for a headshot here. It's not going to be working out otherwise. He sees it, he sprays it, and he gets it once again!
That is an incredible, incredible movement from Shox to be able to win that with low HP as well, a narrow gap, and Frozen never expected it. That is a perfect battle, a perfect example of experience versus inexperience, and Shox just played it so calm and collected. Yeah, you know he's mid, but he can go the two different angles. He can come up rap side and come through lane. You use a smoke to isolate one of those off so you have the safety. That is a perfect clutch from Shox.
So well done. RPK and Cyber with some early stoppage there as they try and rush down the middle. Grenade is going to be pretty effective as well. Wow, Apex is having himself a really good game. But yeah, it's so like when the pressure is on in a match at this level, to make any of those decisions is so hard to do, right?
And this is where you get into like the little bit of a nebulous territory of talking about the mentality of some of the younger players. As I mentioned earlier, Kerrigan talking about how that's been his biggest struggle as the in-game leader, is the mental game, is the focus, is keeping people in the right mindset, in the right mood to actually play games of this level with this much pressure. You saw Frozen get frustrated in losing that clutch. And now you have a mousesports team that really struggled in their defense on Mirage, and now here going to start what? 5-0 down. Again, they're going to have money and economic issues moving forward. This is going to be very, very difficult for them to bounce back.
Yeah, it truly will be.
Important to notice as well, throughout that whole previous round, while his team was attacking Pit, while they were coming out of those A-holes, Shox was sitting back and waiting. He was still behind the smoke while two players with MAC-10s tried to take over Pit. He pretty much let them die. His whole job is once they take over Pit, he swings out to help them take the bomb site from above and drops the bomb down to a teammate. Even when Apex got a kill in mid and rotated through halls with him, he let Apex go out first. He's massively baiting them, and for good reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's all justified when you end up winning it in that way, isn't it? Now we've got the double op out instead. That's a massive grenade landing there on RPK, two of them in fact. And they're already backed out. They're saying that's all we wanted from that position. Chris is going to be holding a very, very steep angle all the way from the back of the B-bomb side towards that entrance. This position can get Molotov'd, and that would be a horrible way to go.
He does have a smoke, but even if he puts out a Molotov that lands at his feet, he won't have the vision to really fight with the AWP. He'd have to overextend and come out of his cover, come out of his safety to do that.
And I mean, even that, if they time it well so that it lands as they're running through, you're already in trouble. And I think Alex actually might be setting up for it. He's certainly got the high ground for it. Yeah, there's the Molotov, Chris. He does push it out. Frozen only with the one trade. And Chris, yeah, they were so ready for it. He did exactly what you said. And Alex, I mean, obviously very clever. He had the exact same idea. Well,
when you see the smoke there, you know someone's in it. And the only way that he can get out to help his teammate is to come around that edge. So it's just spam. It's just pre-fire at the angle that he's going to come into. And there's really no opportunity to be involved in that for Chris. 0 and 6 to start this map for him. He started out very slow in Mirage as well. 0 kills until a few, decent amount of rounds in. It's going to be 6-0 for Vitality. And good call from mousesports to just call the immediate save. Nothing they can really do even if they did rotate over. And this is where you think maybe mousesports have to start getting aggressive in their next gun round. Start trying to actually challenge for some of this control. Don't let Vitality just march up and set up at Banana. Even if you're going to allow them to do that, have some kind of, bring a third player over, go for a pop flash timing to retake towards Car. But Vitality getting everything they want in this first 6 rounds.
Yeah, they really are. And when you make a call like that, especially when they finally have rifles on the CT side, that is kind of crushing. I'm wondering at some point, because I'm pretty sure throughout his whole global offensive career, Apex has been playing as the entry fragger in every team. And that just has to age you at 300% the rate. There should be some sort of achievement award for that. Like someone, like the community as a whole should come together and say, you know what? That's a lot of stress.
I think there's a lot of people playing as entry fraggers who at some point were just like raising their hands in their teams, just like, guys, can I not do this anymore? I don't want to do it. I don't want to be this guy anymore. Because you do get left out to dry, and you do end up looking silly a little bit to the viewers at some degree. But obviously, it takes a strong mentality, and Apex, just as he's developed his game, has probably developed a strong mental game to kind of outlast some of the frustrations of going in first.
I'm wondering if that's what it's about, the whole shooting of the flower pots. Maybe that's it. That's his
That's
relief.
the therapy. They're just like, listen, why don't you just break every item in the map, make you feel a little bit better?
That makes sense to me.
Cathartic behavior.
I mean, you got to have something if you've been doing this for, like, I don't know, a decade or something. Oh, wow. He had him locked in a corner. Saibu fighting back very quickly. That could have been a nice spray down though for Frozen if he could have got both of them. And sort of going a little bit with like what you were saying, trying to see if they could go aggressive. Rob's doing the same. He's trying to get back, but oh, he's locked in. The Molotov, there's an AWP down there all the way at T-spawn. Saibu, it's such a good idea, but doesn't quite work out. Now Shock's running into the bomb side, and that's the round, surely.
Yeah, that's the knockout punch. That swing from Shocks, and he was waiting for a pop flash. That was called a mile away. I think maybe the first kill from Zywoo onto Frozen is just a nice shot. From there, every single person is outplayed on the mousesports side of things. What great cohesion from Vitality. And they have the money now. They can chase these weapons. They know it's been an early save call. They're going to leave Zywoo and Pit with the AWP. Everyone else is going to hunt down these last remaining weapons. So the action in this round is not yet over.
You know, they really want to go for it. Voxic's in a position to catch them at the first corner here, so that actually might slow them down enough. Maybe setting up for some... They're almost setting up for an execute after they've already won the round, which is kind of a funny moment all on its own. The flashbang, pretty well timed, and Voxic just off by half a second. Oh, they're wrapping on them. They're so close already. There's the kill. The orb is gone, and Chris is now just hiding in the corner, and he still has no kills, and the rifle is gone as well. That is pretty mean.
That is a very ruthless round from Vitality. They are crushing them on every single level. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if mousesports can bounce back from this. This is such a brutal way to start this half. Starting on the CT side, Vitality's map pick as well. This is going to be so difficult for them. Zywoo with the op, peeking towards mid, and actually looked for a moment like Kerrigan might swing, but he's only got the SMG, so obviously a wise decision not to do such a thing.
They got a bit of a boost at top banana looking over the wall, so trying to offset the angle. Maybe somebody gets careless. They fall off at just the wrong time. Woxic going to go for the peek, and he snipes away at Apex, who's been actually the first guy to go down in a bunch of these rounds. And again, he's kind of used to it being the entry fragger, but some of these rounds he's been caught. The other round it was over by the balcony at the A apartments where he went down to Rob's. So 4 on 5, and that's a good beginning. Something's worked out for them finally.
Well, 3 players over towards this B-bomb site as well. They can go for that mid-round aggression if they want. They can go for that pop flash peek. We'll see if they've got it in them. Setting up pretty defensively though, and probably hearing all this information as well. This is the full last option for Vitality. All 5 players in Banana, and they don't have a whole lot. There's no Molotovs this time to force anyone out of these corners. Woxic with the AWP is going to be fine. A little bit blind. There's the first kill. Nice trades though, and the defense stands tall. It finally delivers. mousesports is on the board for the first time on Inferno.
This is fantastic. 7-1. I wondered, it looked to me like Simon just almost ran in casually at the end, like he didn't have the information. Maybe they just weren't sure where Woxic was, but he sort of just wandered into it. Regardless, that is the first round of the board for mousesports. You said a comeback very unlikely at this point in time. I agree. I really don't see it happen, but it's up to them to convince us, isn't it?
Yeah,
change the tone here.
See if they've got it. It's got to be a massive run from here. They cannot start losing this. They need to string rounds together.
Well, a lot of pressure on top mid, but they're going to be falling back, and Kerrigan, I think he wants to know what's happening in there, but he's playing at the edge of that smoke and just listening, and he really can't see anything at the moment. And while they're waiting over on that side, turning the corner now is going to be the entire Vitality team, and Chris looking for a fight. They both go down, and surely that's the round. Kerrigan is going to show up with an MP9. That is going to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I was just swatting it away. Like.
Right over the smoke as well. Longest range weapon in the game, and Kerrigan walks right into it. We see that so frequently on this map. If you get those kills, those entry kills that quickly, that efficiently, it's just there's nothing the defense can do. There's no way to rotate over in time to stop that. So 8-1 now. And these weapons are so critically important, but again, Vitality has so much money that they're going to go on the hunt.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with, isn't it? Apex goes down. Forever the first guy to enter the fight. Robs has got a great fight here as well. Shocked will fall next. But they have them in the pit, and now the Molotovs are going to be coming in. They know where both players are. They've got one more Molotov on Apex, or sorry, on Alex, and maybe that could be enough. He's already thrown it in, and it looks like they might... Oh, Wox, he's going to go down anyway. That's one of the ops, and now Rob's just waiting. The time just runs out. They save a single rifle. That was expensive for Vitality, but worth it.
No, absolutely worth it, because mousesports is still going to be able to buy in this round, but it's going to cost them everything. It's pretty much the last chance they have in this half to get anything going for them, to get any kind of window of opportunity moving forward. If they don't win this round, Vitality is going to get into double digits on the T side, and then the series just feels over. It feels out of reach for mousesports. So here we go. They must have this.
And return into the game. And that fire that we saw out of mousesports on Mirage, it's really missing on Inferno right now. Pretty much all across the board. I mean, it's 1 kill on Chris, it's 0 on Kerrigan, it's 8 on Woxic and 7 on Robs, and that's just not going to be enough right now.
It's the tough part of starting on your CT side when we just watched the issues on Mirage with their defense. They had a very late run on Mirage. They can't afford that here. Woxic taking a big risk. It's not going to pay off, but you can see it. You can understand the desperation, the feeling that you have to make some kind of a play to get your team back into it. And unfortunately, it's Woxic that's put down first.
I feel like if you want to make that play, then why not have it be a flashbang setup from a teammate to peek the middle lane, or like any kind of a basic thing like that. That seemed like even a bit of a stretch. Now, both the A players playing on Arch. Might be a good idea. Kerrigan missing a bit of a chance, but he did get a kill. Immediate return from Apex, and now they're going to be wrapping around the other side. Apex trying to fall back, but Robs will catch him. And somehow they've come out on top on this one. A 2-on-3. The bomb's going to be going down, but they are miles away.
I was going to say, look how far away mousesports is. So much attention on Rap side, and the B defenders didn't move a muscle. They're just so nervous of giving anything up for free. There's one kid on Rops. There's one smoke, 2 flashbangs to use for this retake, but you've got to go past ZywOo with that AWP, and he's inside the site. He's got a crossfire set up with shocks.
And they're running around, so ZywOo's hearing all of this, and he's got Shocks looking at the other angle, so they know that no one's going to be coming there. The grenades raining in. ZywOo, oh, he's flashed already. He misses the first chance, and now he's alone versus 3, and they're going to run him down. That's a really quick retake. Chris going to go for the defuse. I think he picked up a kit along the way, and they're going to win that second round for mousesports. Oh man, that worked so much better than I was anticipating.
It was labored. It was nice flashbangs though from the mousesports side. You know, the limited utility that Div have. I mean, ZywOo got blind inside the site. Shocks wasn't sure where they were dropping from this, so that was really well executed. That flashbang right there ruined the day because ZywOo could not flick up quick enough. He even got a dink with the P250, but no one softened up to be cleaned out. So timeout from Vitality. They know they're poised in such a good position. Just talking over, like they know the next win, as soon as they shatter the economy of the defense, like that's the killing blow. That is the victory condition for Vitality in this half.
Yeah, absolutely. mousesports need some money on their own side. I mean, it's good that they get to save the orb and get to sort of pick up a couple of rifles there, but they desperately need more. And Vitality can buy in this round, and even if they lose this one, they can buy in the next one. So the fight just continues from here on out. mousesports, not a single mistake can be made. Woxic in the middle looking for a fight, which is not without a risk. And I think he's realizing that now. Flashed in each. He goes back. That's a 2-for-1 shot. He nearly took down ZywOo. Also tagged Apex, I think, halfway through the wall. They're going to be running through the fire into the middle, and Kerrigan somehow only getting the 1 kill. Woxic falling back. If he could have gone down, that would have probably been the end of the A-bomb site.
Oh, it'll be interesting to see what Vitality does. We saw them have some great audibles on Mirage. Look at the rotation from mousesports as well. All 4 players are here. The B bomb site is open. Apex isn't willing to challenge just yet. He does not have that intel. But the rest of Vitality is going to come back. It's only Chris J here for the moment. Thankfully, he's got a smoke, he's got a Molotov. He can delay this if he puts it in the right position. Surely, though, surely Vitality would just come through any smoke, any flames on the ground. An awkward angle, and Apex He's going to win that fight. First in, first kill. And mousesports, they probably have to back away. Surely, are they at the point yet where they just have to risk this? That's the question they have to ask themselves.
I mean, they don't, I'm not even sure they know how low Cyber and RPK are. Cyber's down, and Apex in the corner. That's a great time to hit a headshot. He's left on 2 health, and the Molotov, Woxic running through it. What a choice to make, and Apex is down. And now the flashbang going over construction. Woxic, he's done with this. He wants to try and win a round finally here. Smoke, low throw there up on the bomb. Going to try and see if he can go for the defuse, but he's completely exposed. It was a great smoke if they were out on Banana, but now instead, I'm not sure it's enough. And Ross is going to be going down. Shocks with the one-on-one, and Vitality, that is a crushing clutch there. Very, very bad news for mousesports.
No, but I feel for them because I understand why they had to go for it. With such a scoreline, you just feel like you have to absolutely risk it. Unfortunately, the smoke that's put down by Vox, with how aggressive he was being with the choices that he made to go for that, it also isolated his teammate from being able to help him. But it's such an improvised situation that you can't even fault him for it. Upgraded pistols, smokes, armor for mousesports. A minimum investment to have some kind of power in this round to see if you can pull off a miracle while still being able to buy in the next round.
Nice job on Robs. Kind of an all-in position. They still have a follow-up player here in Carrigan, who's definitely had his own struggles. I mean, remember, he was playing so well on Mirage, but it's been really tough in this first half for him. 2 kills so far, finding a third one right there, but again, getting back from that action. Oh, he's actually going to go and challenge it, and that might have been too much. Woxic has somehow infiltrated the T side here, and he's going to sneak away an easy kill, but they're going to get the bomb plant down.
Well, you better believe Woxic's going to go for it. Surely, after last round, you saw how committed he was to it, but it doesn't matter. ZywOo's holding the angle. 10-2, Vitality at double digits on their offensive inferno.
One of the big things about the way that Vitality are playing here, and you better hope that they're going to be playing like this tomorrow, because if they're facing Na'Vi in the semi-final, this is the level that I think that's going to be required. Na'Vi are looking really good right now. So that could be one hell of a game. 10-2 on the first half of Inferno on the T side. That is so hard to deal with. They've been struggling with the economy. Those rounds aren't even sort of back-to-back or anything. They just won sort of some sporadic rounds. It's all gone very badly wrong. They don't have a single kit picked up in this round either. And looks like another Molotov based execute here. Oh, they might actually grenade Frozen. They might just triple nade him. There's one. There should be one coming in. I think they failed the one coming in from the skybox.
Yeah, he was going to throw it, and then I think he switched away too quick. So Frozen gets away with one. I don't know if it would have finished him off. Obviously, one grenade, 73 HP still left on Frozen. A cool idea, just didn't go as well as it could have.
I actually think they were going to throw 3 grenades. I think one of them canceled the grenade. I think the other grenade landed on top of the box instead of falling down. So I think...
Not a perfect execution, but you like the idea. And it obviously would have worked if everything had gone according to plan.
It would have shattered this whole world, wouldn't it? Because like you would just feel like, well...
And he's had a couple frustrating moments as well. If he gets triple naded before he even sees anyone, that's enough to make a man cry.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Now, a stack at the A bomb side. Is this the move that's going to win them the whole thing here, or at least win them the round? Sharks got away with a little bit there, almost walked into the AWP shot. There's only 25 seconds. They surely have to go for this now. If they fall back to the B bomb side, that would truly be madness. Yeah, I think they're all in at this point, and this defense, if this can't hold it, I'm not sure if anything can then. Carrigan, a good spray down and nearly getting a double. Frozen's there as well, only 10 seconds on the clock, and I think they've managed to pull this one off. 7 seconds, and the bomb gets denied. Shocks trying his best, but a third round for mousesports, and a good late call for a quad stack at the A bomb site. And that did work.
No, but talk about how many struggles mousesports has had on this defense to make that much of a commitment. 4 players running over there to stack that bomb site. Like, if you're mousesports, I guess you're just feeling like you need everyone. Even the 5th player starting to cheat over because of the time.
I mean, that's also, there aren't that many rounds left in the half, right? But that's also a message to Vitality saying, you know what, they're so desperate. Maybe if we throw a fake and do it, they're going to over-rotate. They're going to commit too much to it.
I actually think that might have been a fine execute for Vitality. It just took so long for them to actually attack the bomb site. I think one Molotov in lane might have delayed them. assuming that came from mousesports, but they were there. They had a timing. There were 3 players over at that B bomb site. They had a certain window of opportunity that just wasn't hit. Regardless, still a monstrous T-half. And finally a bit of a break for mousesports. Vitality's been forced back to Deagles and Mac 10s.
Careful what you say, Moses. I feel like if you curse mousesports now with those words, there are going to be some fans on the social medias that are not going to be happy. They do have just enough for an execute. mousesports are checking out Banana and not finding anyone, so even that is valuable information. And they've got Chris over there with the AWP, so he can actually hold it on his own, and they can afford to rotate four people back. This is a very powerful position to be in mousesports. They should be winning this round just based off the weapons, based off the early intel.
Well, again, 4 players at the A bomb site also, and this time there's not AK-47s. That is a beautiful, beautiful grenade. Yeah, I don't even think you can make it through. Kerrigan just spamming through, finds the first kill, turns for a flashbang. So much defense here. Good kill from ZywOo, but these M4s are way too strong. This position from Rops is way too strong, and Woxic in the site, an easy mop up with the AWP, and there it is. mousesports up to 4.
It's very, very well done, and unlike the previous round, if you're confused why we're not sort of treating those rounds the same, where they sort of a little bit gambled on 4 men and A, this time it was nothing like a gamble. They had Chris over there at Banana, just spotting the whole thing. They knew that they were going to have advanced warning if anyone showed up. Rob's, by the way, at 16-6, and that's in spite of the fact that they're down 6 rounds against Vitality, so he's playing a fantastic game right now.
That's leading the server, and
yeah.
Woxic is tied for ZywOo at 13. ZywOo's the top fragger for Vitality, so almost a little bit crazy that all the kills going out on those 2 players, and they only have 4 rounds to show for it.
Challenge, and ooh, that's some great timing between Chris and Frozen. I was going to say scary pulling out the grenade, but I can't believe it.
Neither can Frozen. He can't believe it at all, and that is going to be really upsetting. But this is the kind of challenging at Banana that we didn't see for a very long while of this half. While they were getting beat up, while Vitality went on that huge run, mousesports was very afraid to challenge that corner, and I guess at this point, you don't really have anything to risk. You need the rounds. You've already been beaten, you've already been destroyed in this half, so why not go for those plays that you might not have been too motivated to take earlier?
A chance maybe to catch Woxic if he comes back. If Shox has got that angle, it is AK versus AWP, so you want to be really careful about it. Shox instantly down. Not prepared for that at all. 35 seconds for this 2 versus 4, and I think they finally found some kind of solution here, mousesports. It's very late, and it's not clear at all whether or not it's in time to actually save this map for them, but Rob's a phenomenal first half for him, way off the charts. Alex alone, and with only 17 seconds, there's no chance at all. Ending the half at 19.
Those 2 delivered.
Yeah, that was amazing to see. Rob's absolutely with a lightning performance.
Both teams also choosing on their defensive pistol rounds to go forward for that really passive towards the B bomb site, stack towards A, and try and retake here. It's only Apex at this site.
He's got the P2000 though, so that smoke, is he gonna... I was kind of hoping that he would try and challenge instead. Just a couple of bullets and now a full retake. 5 on 5. I don't have the stats directly in front of me, but I feel like those are low percentage retakes in a round like this. So much can go wrong. Now they do have a kit on ZywOo. Chris is gonna get run down, and that is not the best start for the now defensive mousesports. Alex with the opening, Kerrigan, they retake construction. That's not bad at all, and Rob's going for a bit of a fight here. He's doing a lot of damage already. Woxic will help out, and a bit of a fight back. RPK, Shox and Alex, and that leaves Woxic in the back. Now there's a little bit of time on the bomb still. Woxic, a great follow-up, and he tries to fall back, but RPK will find him. They don't have the kit picked up. I don't know where it is. They don't know where it is, and that is going to cost them the round. Mousesports, they somehow find a way to make it through. Alex, no time for that one. And that's what they needed. The fire here behind the coach of mousesports. Oh man, that's the intensity you want to start off with.
Yeah, fair play. If you're mousesports, you'll take that all day. The luck of them not having the kit, that it was on the ground, they couldn't find it, they had no idea. That is one way to get you started. You need a little bit of luck to go your way, and mousesports have it, at least the first step. What a close retake, though. Those never feel like it's going to go well for the CT side rotating over in a 5 versus 5. And they actually won the battle, and that's what makes it a little bit heartbreaking for the French side.
Nice grenade on Apex. Yeah, if you're Woxic and you're playing behind new box there in the 1 versus 3, it's kind of hard to remind yourself, but sometimes you're getting kills is you have to get at least probably 1 kill, but just the backing off, the staying alive, the trying to sort of duke them out like every second.
The teammate or the bomb is your teammate in that scenario.
Yeah, it's so hard to remember, right? But if he just fights right away and even if he gets 2 and dies, that might be enough time. Then they might be like, oh, fine, that was a quick fight. Now we have time to defuse. But the fact that he just waited a little bit longer, he actually fell back and tried to sort of let them come to him, even if he had almost no space to stand on. So very well done.
Chance for ZywOo, and he's going to back away. He's going to call this over, though, and the smoke comes out, and they are? No, they're not. Frozen backs away from challenging. 2 smokes and a Molotov left for Vitality with 40 seconds left. Remember, those delay tactics are massive. Alex has a Molotov at the B bomb site. RPK has a smoke over at A.
They're going to wait out the smoke and then go and check it. I kind of like that idea. Frozen knows. It's very smart for mousesports. A lot of teams exactly in this position will say, oh man, we don't want to wait around, top mid, let's go B instead, and then that's where they run into the rest of the utility. Now, it's RPK in the pit with a deagle. A bit of a shooting gallery, but unfortunately the targets are shooting back, so he's not enjoying that at all.
I think he'll be frustrated if he watches that back and realizes he only actually hit 1 of those bullets.
Yeah,
I think he'll feel like he probably felt like he should have hit 3 of them or so. But, I mean, remember, they got that bomb planted. They started playing with 9 seconds left. Even if it was just 1 kill from RPK, if he kills the right guy, there's a chance that, there's a disaster brewing on the mousesports side as well.
Yeah, I didn't even actually notice the time, but yeah, that's kind of horrifying when you think about it. Cutting it close, but winning the round at 10-7 now, not going to be good looking for anybody, and I don't see any reason to either. Chris has still only got 3 kills, Carrigan on 6. I think we introed much of this with sort of saying what there were some of the veteran players that were going to, help to guide some of the younger players through this. And I think we were talking about the mentality of it, and maybe that's still true. But right now, maybe some of the veterans need to start doing a bit more on this second map here.
Well, you have to wonder if that's where we're going to see it in the second half on the T side. Remember, Carrigan and Mirage was leading the way in terms of fragging for the T side especially. He was the one creating the space. He was up at 14 kills, I think, in that first half. He was great. So you're hoping to see that same kind of initiative out of the in-game leader in this second half, in this potentially last map of their tournament.
It could be. Early grenade around the corner, and Carrigan, a flashbang if he's going to take this corner certainly would be required. Woxic just threw 1 in. Actually, Chris did as well. They're going to be doing a fine job early on. Alex will immediately return that. I would have thought that with those grenades thrown from the back of Banana would have helped that Carrigan a lot more, but...
I think the biggest problem was that mousesports at the back of Banana was isolated by that Molotov. They couldn't move forward to help whatsoever. So Carrigan does get 1 traded off. And mousesports look to go up mid and catch some kind of a timing, knowing that there's a stack at top Banana, but seeing the opportunity has not presented itself, right back to the B bomb site, and they've made that call perfectly. No defender here. Alex is just coming over. There's no nades to slow them down. And I think if you're Vitality, if Alex doesn't do something special here, you just give it up. 1 kill for him, and he can't transfer over. Nice reaction from Frozen. And as silly as it sounds, it almost feels like Shox and Apex, the best thing they could do is preserve this armor, not have to spend that money in the next round.
Yeah, you might as well. That is not connecting on any significant level. I feel bad for Chris being the one to go down to that 5-7 though, If you're having kind of a rough game anyway, like someone comes to this and like, why me?
Yep. Why am I the one picked out? It's just his lucky day. Or unlucky, depending on your perspective. So mousesports will take an 8th round, and all of a sudden, that first half, I mean, dominant for Vitality, but like we said, 5 rounds is a window of opportunity that they're capitalizing on, at least for the moment. First gun round's going to come up, but 2 rounds is not an intimidating gap whatsoever anymore on Inferno.
Ooh. The timing. Rocks going to be run down as well. They take everything away from mousesports, but you're right. This is much more competitive all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's cool, though. I like that from Vitality. They take all the weapons away, so even in a loss, remember, they're preventing the growth of the economy for mousesports. They're making it that much easier to reset this T side. And this buy coming up now for mousesports is going to eat a lot of that cash away. So Vitality have set themselves up very nicely to just hit the ground running on this defense. ZywOo with the AWP. He's going to be supporting over towards top banana. Flashbang comes out. Kerrigan's so blind. Right around the edge of the smoke with the follow-up. The flashbang is too far. Apex never saw it coming, but Kerrigan, he's pinned down. I don't know how he's alive.
Oh, he's falling back. The grenade actually going into the wood stacks there in the corner. Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone can even explain that.
No, there's someone up above watching over him throughout that sequence. Alex, a little bit of a struggle on the first kill, but there's ZywOo to help out. Great rotation. All the Vitality is here. There's no one defending the B bomb site. They have a cold read on exactly what's coming, and they still can't stop it. Rops with a double kill, and Alex goes down next. What a rebuttal from mousesports.
That is so ridiculous. You're right, they had it all going on, but right now, Woxy and Rops are just tearing them apart. It's 23-8 for Rops. He's gone way out of control in this game. That's a beautiful thing to see.
Which is hard to go up against if you're Vitality, because just like that round showed, many of these times Vitality's actually outplayed mousesports in terms of tactically, but Rops is seemingly there, getting all these kills to bail them out of tough spots. I mean, what a read for Vitality. Just rotate everyone away from that B bomb site to put yourself in a 4-on-3 and then lose it all so quickly to Rops and Woxic.
Yeah, that's a round that surely you're going to be looking back on if you're doing any kind of post-game analysis on this one and thinking, yeah, but that should be a win. We had it all exactly how we wanted. What a revelation for what a game from Rops here. And then now you're wondering, it's not that he's doing it exactly alone, but theoretically what should happen, it's him and Woxic right now that are leading the charge. What should happen is that they should create enough space for the rest of the team. So that's Kerrigan, Frozen, and Chris to try and sort of to get back in the game. Yeah. Like that should create some momentum for them. Because what cannot happen is a situation where if Rops or Woxic go down early on, you think, well, that's it, that's the round almost, right? Like it can't just be on them. So they need to buy this second win that they've been given here. Just try and see if they can make this work.
And if you're Chris J, round 20 and you have 3 kills, don't try and do too much. Chris J is just looking for his moment, 1 or 2 moments down the stretch of this game to have an impact, to influence the round, to influence the map. mousesports again have made a good call. Rotated back to the A bomb site after making presence in banana. Alex is going to have to rotate back, but again, it's just pistols. And look at the way that Vitality's held onto this utility. They can stall this out. This is going to be so tough. This smoke right here, ZywOo drops. That is going to be intimidating.
Oh, and he actually read that pretty well. Look at the clock as well. 27 seconds. Molotov with a bit of pressure. ZywOo now hiding inside of the smoke. 20 seconds, and only 3 people here, but again, that might be enough. If they run out of time and don't get the bomb plant, that is one of the worst ways to lose a round. And, well, the bomb is starting to make its way in. I think they've managed to crack the code here. 9 seconds, and they're going to get the bomb plant. Apex, he's going to sneak away or kill on Chris, which again is kind of heartbreaking given everything that he's been through. But at least they get the bomb plant. And now, I don't know if there's much they can do for a retake here. It does not seem possible.
No, but again, you can set up to take all the weapons away. Money is still not great for mousesports. Apex actually just running all the way back to the B bomb site. He wants nothing to do with that idea, but Shox with an SMG. Gonna line up in halls. And at the moment, it looks like Frozen could fall back in that direction, but they'll find safety in the pit with that plant. So they don't even have to run too far. So I think mousesports, all 3 players are gonna survive this blast. And we'll be all tied up, which is such a crazy thing to think about, considering that first half. If he just does some damage, he just wants the damage, he's gonna do it to Frozen. He gets 1, he would have liked more. But again, another frustrating scenario for Frozen to be in. You want to talk about Chris J, Frozen's had a couple of those.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just how the game is sometimes. All tied up. That is hard to even believe. 5 in a row to begin this second half with. The sheer grit and just determination on mousesports to bring it to this is kind of impressive. And can they actually follow it through and get us that 3rd map? It feels very possible at the moment. Frozen, tired of his bad luck, gonna try and create some of his own, and taking down ZywOo is a good start, but RPK with the return, dropping Kerrigan, and he's in position. Rops is up there. And he's been the main engine, and he almost catches RPK. That's seconds away, but now instead he gets shot down. RPK in the pit. A big double kill for him already, and a 2-on-4, and Vitality have had enough. Chris will chime in with a kill on Apex, but they're still far away from winning this round.
Yeah, I don't know how you clear out these two players. Shox is going to start sinking back towards that B bomb site, but RPK and Pit, Alex now going to clear out halls. They're going to transition. And actually, again, mousesports, they're picking this defense apart. RPK making so much noise. Now they know. One is rotated away. They're going to be very happy about this, but RPK in spawn has a chance. He can't win it. Alex up in the halls. Gonna hold the angle. The flashbang doesn't work, and he gets one. Now he just needs to live. No reason to take this fight. Oh, but he's gonna risk it. This is a very difficult scenario. Alex, he can just survive until Shox gets here.
Yeah, that is the higher percentage win for sure. He's got him locked in the corner, but Chris, what a headshot! Taking down Alex. If he can get one more of those, everything is forgiven for how this has been so far for him. He's up on top of the box. Shox is coming down there. He needs the shot, but he won't get it. Shox surviving instead on just 13 health. That is such a good try for Chris. He needed it desperately, but Vitality, after losing 5 in a row, they come back, and now they're in the lead. They only survive with a single rifle, so, I mean, they still are in a lot of trouble, but man, that's close.
As beaten up as mousesports has gotten in this game, one thing that they're winning in very much is confusing this Vitality defense. The way that they're trying, they're shifting, they're slaking off of one bomb site and posturing like they're going to head to the other side of the map, but then returning. Vitality is getting pulled apart on these rotations and have no idea where to be set up. And if you're mousesports, that's the best way possible to lose a round. One player surviving for Vitality. They have to reinvest everything they possibly can into this next round, and mousesports have a chance to reset them immediately.
You can definitely see that CT side is struggling to figure out exactly where to be. And that was a round in which they actually did take out Robs early on, but then Woxic and Chris almost brought it back, so that's what you also like to see. That was a really nice shot from Woxic towards that CT spawn position that RPK was holding.
Yeah, it was great. Even Chris J, I thought that was going to be his moment to shine. We just mentioned, bide your time, don't try and do too much, wait for your one moment, and that was the clutch that it felt like was going to be his.
I mean, he did everything that he could have, right?
Everything that he could, except couldn't close it out. 11-10, one round lead for Vitality, and mousesports changing the pace, going to be aggressive, and ZywOo feels it, and even Chris J checks. What an entry, spins on Alex.
Oh, that's big. There's only one person in pit. RPK with a FAMAS. They've done this perfectly. RPK, you can't hold that for much longer. It's Kerrigan and Chris with a beautiful opening here, and they're going to have to fall back. Oh, Chris, I mean, again, you said it. You have to stay in the game. You have to stay floating, and eventually you're going to get your chance. Almost to the last round. This round.
Yeah, this round for sure. Two big entries, even spamming ZywOo down through the smoke. All tied up once again, 11-11. That was the same scoreline we had in Mirage at one point, but what a spectacular recovery for mousesports. And you have to think, that call from Kerrigan to pick up the pace, to rush up mid very quickly, knowing, again, the situation that I outlined, one player surviving, very low on economy, very low on what they can spend in the next round, it was going to be light on utility. You weren't going to see a lot of those Molotovs down to prevent any kind of fast, aggressive play. And mousesports took advantage.
Might even be worth mentioning that Chris is one of those players that in his own career, right, had to fight through a bit of a fragile mentality of getting really frustrated and disappearing in some big games and not really being able to come back and sort of having a lot of frustration within his own style. And I mean, this was early on, but that was almost like a public battle where he had to try to prove that he could fight his way through that, and he finally did. And it's good to see him, you know, just holding his head and continue to find ways to be relevant even in a really tough game. Apex is shooting the flower pots even as he's being killed.
He looks very angry. He looks very disgusted with that sequence, which makes sense. Rops is going to get a second kill. Shox and RPK trying to get sneaky and push in the halls. There's one more player for Rops to deal with. It's ZywOo and Boiler. He's got a deagle.
He's very committed to the vandalism that's going on here. Kerrigan with a good opening. Just time to save that M4 you've got to save. And even what Apex has, just better spent in the next round. mousesports are going to be back in the lead. 12-11. This game is definitely not over yet. So far, Vitality have had a single round on their CT side.
When you say back in the lead, important to note, mousesports has never led in this map until just now. This is the first lead that they will have had, and it comes right at such a critical moment.
Yeah, it's hard to even imagine that could be real at a 11-11 scoreline, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Rob's now up to 26 kills in just 23 rounds.
Woxic at 20, and there's no one matching that output on the other side of the server. Alex at 16 is leading the way for Vitality, but those two players have kept. I mean, they kept mousesports in it throughout the first half. As much as you can say that with 5 rounds, it's not great, but it's something that you can work with. That's about time now where it feels like mousesports, the other players have woken up as well, and Woxic has taken everything from Vitality. That is a disaster.
That's what we saw Vitality do to them earlier. They had a couple of rounds on Mirage as well, where they took all the rifles even after winning, and Woxic with some great revenge.
Yeah, shoes on the other foot, I believe is the saying.
Yeah, tables have turned.
Taste of your own medicine.
Yeah, there we go. Now we've done it. 24th round. A better buy out of the Vitality side. Cyber with that AWP. We've seen some good shots out of him on the CT side here, but we haven't seen the round closing Cyber, and that's one of the things that mousesports, I don't know if they're scared of it, but there could be rounds here where Cyber just, you know, gets 2 early kills, and then you feel like, how do we get back from this?
It looks like mousesports have just simplified this T side. Like they almost want to make fast contact plays up middle. There's the swing. Shocks naded down towards that B bomb site behind the car, but Apex has rotated back towards A, back towards Rap side.
Well, they got the mid control. They've got Robs up in the apartments. He's been there many, many times. In fact, so many times now that you're starting to worry that it's beginning a little bit too predictable. Cyber, you actually almost was out in the open there. Robs is going to try and make his way out on the balcony. I don't know if they know. Now RBK definitely knows, and the smoke will maybe save him. He's down. He's hunting for him. Robs with a big kill, and through the smoke, almost getting Alex as well. They need this round, mousesports. They've just got the lead. They need to extend it. They need that third map, and it's very, very much on a round like this. Alex still alive inside. He survived that early spray through the smoke, and now backup is being called for. Shox hasn't seen anybody over at Banana, and this is so strange. They're all in the pit waiting for a peek, and Vitality so far not giving them one. A quick trade. Cybu's still alive and looking for a follow-up. Now the fight comes out, and Apex is going to be going down, and Cybu alone on the bomb side, and he's going to get found with 13 seconds left. They turn it around. Very patient, bordering almost on the insane here for mousesports, and they find a way through.
I mean, the hard part about that defense for Vitality, usually it's like, fine, stay in pit, we don't mind, but you don't have the information of when anyone's attacking, so when those fights begin, everyone has to take a peek and see what's going on. mousesports is playing the second half so well, so poised to make this comeback happen. 13-11 after this. Shox, very uncomfortable in Banana, never able to start rotating, never able to get a flank going on.
It's one of those things where, you know, in retrospect, you could say, well, if he had been flanking, he would have been there just in time. But if he goes for that and they've miscounted and you know, there's actually only one in pit and the other 3 are somewhere else, then you lose the round immediately if he just gets run down.
Yeah, but we're going to have to start seeing Vitality take some risks. It's pretty apparent at this point that this Vitality defense cannot contain mousesports, which is wild to say. 1 single round on the CT side for Vitality. Other than that, it's just been a barrage of Woxic and Rops.
Right now, Rops is 10 kills ahead of Cybu, who's the top fragger on Vitality at 17. Rops at 27.
And listen, we talk a lot, and we mentioned, you know, Kerrigan talking about, you know, some of the mentality issues with his young players. Rops is not a young player. Rops has now been playing in the professional scene. He's young in age, but he's been in the professional scene playing in tournaments like this for, what, 2 years now, essentially?
He's been in a lot of different places too, right? He's sort of been one of those players that's he's had a tenure in a couple of different areas. Obviously playing out of Estonia originally, so has sort of had to in some sense find a home in which to play. 13-11. This is wild. At this level of comeback, I mean, 10-5, sure, like that's a pretty good baseline to build something off, but it's the fact that they've only allowed for Vitality to win a single round on the CT side. It's so convincing right now. Well, 4 saved, but that's it.
That's it. Kerrigan going to turn the corner. Smoke helping You have to think Zaiwu would come through that if Alex gets into this. Flashbang comes in late. The peak was just before it. Zaiwu waiting for his moment of opportunity. There he is. He comes through. He sees the bomb, holds his trigger, gets one. He needs the follow-up, and he almost has it. What a play that would have been, almost around the corner, but he's done massive damage. There's a great chance for Vitality to actually turn this in their favor. RPK just needs to stay pinned down, stay safe, but this is going to fall apart. Robson walks again. We'll just keep calling their name, because whenever mousesports need them, they come up and deliver.
It's so patient right now. I mean, the panic that you would assume that they would be in from how close they were just not that long ago to losing this whole quarterfinals. But every time they need to, they just slow it down. They managed to get the perfect timing out, and Shox is looking a little bit frustrated himself. 14-11, ladies and gentlemen. What a show that they're putting on right here.
We talk about Shox coming into this team, not meant to be a leader, meant to be, someone who listens to Alex. I don't mind him talking now. This is where you do want to lead on that experience. This is where you do want him speaking up and having some kind of an input. 11-14, nothing has worked in this half. Shox is going to have some ideas.
They have a lot of money in this round. That is probably the big thing that they can try and lean on. Timeout being called, and surely going to be an AWP on Zaiwu, but this has been working out so well. I mean, even when Zaiwu's had the AWP, they've had rounds where they've had, what they needed here, and they've been picked apart. Wow, that's very intense.
No, this is crazy. This is like two different teams from that first half. I mean, I didn't think Vitality would have any issues closing this one out after the way we were watching them play as a unit, but this might be a symptom as well of two teams that have made changes. Yeah, for Vitality, it's just the one player coming in, but that can have some pretty adverse effects, especially when they've had the conversation where the biggest struggles for Vitality will be on the CT sides, where Shox is going to have to play positions he's not really used to.
Well, here
then you go over to mousesports. Some of the coordination issues on the CT side have been plaguing them for a while as well.
That's a pretty good beginning. It's far from done, but you can start off like that. There's the boost stop, and Robsy still takes down Alex. What does it take to shut him down? They had the read. He was looking the wrong way. Now, two of them are low, but the frustration is going to be mounting right now.
Alex has to get that kill. That is unforgivable. That kill does not go in his favor. He had every chance. And what a desperate situation to be in. Look at Vitality even rotating Shox over to the B bomb side. 3 players here. Now they want to go for the late take. There's a deep Molotov to trap someone at car. Zaiwu's got the angle.
And this could get really interesting. He's actually going to go aggressive just as they peek, and they catch him at the corner. The timing could not possibly be worse. And as he was doing that, the rest of the B defense is going to be falling back. This absolutely collapses right in the face of Vitality. In spite of the damage, in spite of everything else, mousesports have found a way onto the B bomb site. And that bomb plant is going to be going through fairly quickly. Already, I think they're on it. Woxic holding it down. And yeah, they've left RPK on the other side of the map, and they might not even be able to make it out. Kerrigan has infiltrated them with an AWP. This is so horrific for them. Now, they'll find him at least. That's going to be 15 rounds. We're on map point here for mousesports. They're about to take us to a third map.
And that's crazy. Vitality, they had every chance in the world. First, the kill on Alex that misses. Obviously, the unlucky timing for Zaiwu. That's so brutal, but they had this setup. They found everything. And again, a situation where it felt like they put themselves in a good position and cannot complete the job. This is astounding. mousesports, what a phenomenal map of Counter-Strike they've played once they switched halves. And again, it was a late half run at the end of that first half. 3 in a row on their CT side. It came in very late, but they finally figured it out, and that was all they needed, it seems. Just 1 round away from map 3.
This is so incredibly well done. I mean, it's hard to even try and put into words how difficult it is to play this many rounds without giving up even tiny bit of a mistake, right? Like anything you give them right now, Vitality, you could lose the map, you could certainly lose the round, but that could spiral out of control very fast. But they've done this so perfectly, giving up only a single round in the second half. And now they want to see if they can close it out. Zaiwu will take down Kerrigan. And that's not the start that they were looking for here, but And actually, it's not uncommon that right in the end is where it sort of falls apart. That can happen as well. Now, there's a bit of an aggressive flank as well from Shox. He's, in fact, so far up. It's being watched by Woxic. He knows that someone could be here. Bit of a attack there. Rob's going to get traded immediately. They did take down RPK. And now they're all going to be slinking towards the archway side. Chris about to turn the corner, and that's Apex waiting. A very difficult off angle, and Apex almost messed that up. He'll get traded in a 2-on-3 now, and they're going to go for that B-bomb site where Shox is ready and waiting.
Oh, this would be huge. This is such a massive hold. The rest of the Vitality defense pushing down mid to flank up Banana. Shox just waiting patiently, not making his move. And look at this. Look at how sneaky. This is such a smart play from Shox. He's going to be patient, he's going to wait, and he's going to get a free kill for his troubles. Woxic goes down, and Vitality starts to fight back. Their first round win in 5. They stopped the run of mousesports, and 3 in a row to force overtime. That's what they're looking for. And for mousesports, this is what you have to avoid. You have to avoid ZywOo coming alive. You have neutralized him for most of the second half.
It seems so easy. They've done it in incredible fashion. They just need, 1 out of the next 3 rounds, and they're going to be doing just fine. It's 55 kills between Rops and Woxic. It should be possible. It's all right in front of them, and they're going to try and see if they can run down ZywOo. That might not be the best opportunity there. Chris goes down, and they get slowed a little bit. You've got to give it as well, though. Chris Hand has some great running entries on that archway side, so maybe they wanted to try and repeat it. And Carrigan is wide out close. They want to do it very quickly here. Running onto the bomb side. They're already on the site, and Rops will open up. Frozen with the follow-up. RPK is down, and this is fantastic. An immediate call. Just switching it up from arch to quad instead, and I don't see any retake here. Shox and Alex are 2-on-4. This has been one of the best second halves I've seen out of mousesports for a very long time. And Alex with 1 kill there on Woxic. The bomb is already planted. And hit that Molotov. Might do a little bit. Alex trying to see if he can fight his way in here, but he's being shot down from every single angle, and Shox will go down. It's Perky and Estonia combining for a save of mousesports. And we're going to go to map 3, ladies and gentlemen, here at the quarterfinals. A fantastic victory. 31 kills for Rops.